evening and welcome to North High School for the 2022 North Rangers Fall Sports Media Day. I am Steve Hare from OhioVarsity.com. Excited to host our first Rangers Sports Media Day. I've been covering North sports for several years now, and I've gotten to know the coaches and the players, so it's great to have an opportunity to get here and kind of preview the upcoming season with all of our teams. Kicking it off for us is the girls soccer team and head coach Rick Searle right there in the middle. I do want to make a note here. I got creative tonight. I threw a green screen up, so we aren't actually sitting outside at Nick Carter Stadium. We are inside, so you're going to see a little bit of fuzzies in the background. I haven't perfected this part of the broadcast. I don't have the right lighting for my green screen, so there are some dark corners that aren't getting picked up. Coach's shirt is a little bit too close to that chroma key color, so you might see a little bit, see through him a little bit. I can assure you he is a real person. He isn't we aren't superimposing him into our live broadcast. But at any rate, here we go. We're going to start with the North Rangers girls soccer program. Head coach Rick Searle. Coach, a couple years now, you've gotten to know the girls. You've gotten your stamp on the program a little bit. Last year, 8 wins. I think that was the most in almost 10 years or so. So, I think things are starting to come around for you. Kind of talking a little bit before the broadcast here. I know you guys are, kind of excited about, the way things are kind of shaping up and the outlook for the season. So let's start there. Just coming into this season, like I said, you've got a couple years under your belt now. You've gotten to know the girls. They're playing your system now. They've, it's no longer a new coach, that kind of thing. Everybody's kind of grown a little bit and developed, and the wins are starting to come. What have you seen in this preseason, and how excited are you for 2022?
Last year we had an 8-win season, which I think tied, or actually was one better than the last 5 years previous.
Combined.
7 combined wins. So we finally broke through. It was 8-1, not counting the regular season. This year, I think we were just talking. This is the first time, I think, today when we had the little scrimmage out there. It was probably the first time in 3 years that this group has actually played the system the way it's set down on paper. And it was probably one of the most productive practices we've had, and I think that this group might be one of the best groups that we've had at North in 10 years. I've been involved in the program. I did the summer league. All my daughters played here before, and it's been a pretty rewarding feeling this year. It's the first time I feel like from top to bottom we're getting it across the board, and we feel like we're a team finally.
I think just looking at the last couple of years as you've kind of stepped in and have tried to make some changes, changing the culture, that type of thing, the talent was in your younger classes. You had some good seniors and juniors that have gone on and graduated and that type of thing. But your younger crew, they're now juniors and seniors. And so that really has to be exciting because they've already been successful as younger players, and now they have all this experience behind them. How different can that be, and how are you trying to impart that upon the girls that, hey, you're not these freshmen and sophomores anymore. You can't go out to a game thinking, we're not going to win. Now you have to think that, hey, we're going to be in every game. And I kind of heard that from your girls earlier as we were kind of messing around here before the show.
Well, excuse me, I think a big part of it's Sid, sitting right here. I'm 9, 10. I first coached Sid probably when she was 9 or 10 years old. And she's a senior this year and a captain. And I'll be honest, there's a lot you can do as a coach, but when you have a player, and the other captains, Veda's another captain, when we, the 4 captains that we have this year are probably as big a part of the change culture-wise as the coaches are, because, we can stand on the sideline and scream all day long, and we can, come up with catchy little phrases and garbage like that, But until people like seniors, like these two, and the other 2 captains buy in and then start to make that the common practice from day to day. We finally stack weeks of practice together in ways that we would have hoped for a single practice last year and the year before. And it's really them. I'm not saying anything different now than I did 2 years ago. But once everyone starts buying into the system, and then it starts, from you get like your first followers. You get the people who follow the system from the beginning, and that's the biggest change. It's them. So.
All right, well, let's start talking to the players. We'll come back. Normally, I recap everything with the head coach, but since you brought your assistant, I'm going to let her recap it after we talk to the players.
Perfect.
So I'm going to start all the way to the left. Grab a microphone, flip that black switch up, and then just go ahead and introduce yourself, name, grade, and tell us what position you play. And before you start, now you can see where my green screen didn't go all the way to the left. So that's a curtain behind her, but I tried. All right, go ahead.
All right, my name's Veda Belt. I'm a senior, and did you say what position I play?
Yes.
All right, I'm a pivot, so that's like a defensive midfield basically. So I run behind like center mid.
Being a senior, you've seen the change in this program, going back to freshman year and then sophomore and junior years, things started to click a little bit. How exciting has this transition been just to kind of become a program where people used to say, oh, North's on the schedule, let's make it senior night. Well, now North's on the schedule, and it's like, well, we're not going to make that our senior night anymore.
Okay, so I didn't start playing until my junior year, but I played for Rick when I was younger. And I went to all the games, and I watched from when I was younger. So it's really, like, the process, it's grown a lot throughout what I've seen of it. And starting last year, I feel like we are at a way better place than what we were.
So you get all the credit. You joined the team last year and 8 wins. There's the answer, Coach. Just get like 8 more of her, and, there you go. What have you seen, different, from the attitude of the players just coming in from last year to this year, having that success?
So, like, the younger players, they're, like, easier to catch on with us. They're doing a lot better, and their attitudes, they're joining with us instead of, like, rebelling against it. So they're buying into it. That's good. But, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's going well.
As a senior, I think everyone on the team probably has higher expectations, looking forward to the season. But you specifically, this is it, your last go-around playing high school soccer. What are you looking forward to this year?
I want to beat South again. That's a first. And then just get better than 8 wins. Like, we could definitely do it. We could have done it last year, but now I feel like we're doing it a lot better. So with our system running how it is, we should be destroying other teams. Thank you.
You as a senior, you kind of are in a special place too, because you're part of this class that's changing the culture of North girls soccer. So you're going to come to your high school reunion in 10 years or 20 years, or if you ever get to be coach's age, in 30 or 35 years, you go back to your high school reunion and you're talking about this soccer program. What do you hope people remember about this group?
I hope they remember that when we started, we had a great spirit from the beginning. So we might have lost some games back then, but we always had team spirit. But now we're back and playing better, and we're going to keep that spirit up.
I always like to ask, we've got girls at the table. We're going to hear from them. But looking at some of the teammates that you have on the squad that aren't at the table, who has impressed you in the preseason? Who do you think is going to have a big year this year?
Morgan's always impressing because, she's insane. She's our center back, so she does really good. She moves the ball well, and she communicates really well. And I feel like our center mid, Kaylee, is going to do a lot distributing the ball and helping push us to do better.
Outstanding. Good luck to you this year. All right, Sid, you're up. Go ahead, introduce yourself, name, grade, and position.
Hi, I'm Sydney. I'm a senior, and I play forward.
Sydney, it seems like yesterday, your freshman year, I remember your first year of basketball coming in. I said, oh, she's a pretty good athlete. She's going to be one to watch. And then I found out you play all these other sports, and you're pretty good at those too. So, so here you come, senior year soccer. How fun has this been, just watching this program grow the way it has?
Oh, it's been amazing. All 4 years, you can just see like the attitude change in each year. And now I'm here, the senior, and I'm just super excited to play.
Could you have ever imagined from freshman year to now that things were going to flip the way they did?
No, definitely not. Like when I was a freshman, it was really different, like different coaching and all that. But as like you grow with the team and the coaches, it's a lot different than I even imagined.
I know coach has been a big part of it. Assistant coach has been a big part of it. The seniors that have graduated that have kind of shown the younger players. Everyone's been a big part of that. But from your perspective, what's been the biggest key to the turnaround?
Just like effort, and like everyone wants to be here, and at practice, like we want to give it our all, and we just want to get better each day.
You've kind of made a name for yourself in area soccer circles and around the league, so people are going to say, okay, we've got a game plan around her. How do you plan to handle that additional pressure, just knowing that people know that you're dangerous with the ball at your
I
feet?
think just well, thanks, but I think it's not only just me. It's like my whole team, like everyone. We all contribute to being better, and I think like they help me get better, definitely.
And then who's your breakout player this year? Who do you think's going to have a big year?
Our goalie Kat. So like she was injured last year, and I think this year's gonna be a really great year for her. She's a junior. It's gonna be like her first full year playing. So I have high expectations for her.
Outstanding. All right.
To clarify, not first full year ever.
Oh, is it? Freshman. Sorry. Second first full year ever.
I just meant in general. It's not her first year ever.
Oh no, she has been playing for multiple years. Yes, for a long time, but right.
Gotcha. All right, all the way to the right. Go ahead, make sure your microphone's on, and introduce yourself, name, grade, and position.
All right, I'm Akella Pinkstock. I'm a freshman and I play forward.
So a freshman gets to come out to media day. So obviously you may have impressed your coaches already. Is that the case?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Coach over there nodding, and then we get the yes. So what do you bring to the team this year? What give us a scouting report.
Well, I feel like I have a good attitude. Like when I first came in, I was a little nervous, but then I kind of mixed in with the team, like the older classmen, and I like became a team with them, and yeah.
So you weren't around for all the lean years, being a freshman. So I don't know how long you've been around the program, if you came to the high school games as a youth player, that kind of thing. So maybe you knew a little bit about the program, but now you're stepping into a situation where, hey, this team's pretty darn good,
Yeah.
and the expectations are high. You're a freshman. A lot of freshmen get thrown on JV, but obviously the expectations seem to be a little bit higher for you. Are you ready for all that?
I'm a little bit nervous, but I think I'm ready.
What's going to be the key for you handling those nerves while also taking care of business and doing what's expected of you?
Just push through it and just try to get the nerves out, I guess.
Who are the girls on the team that have kind of shown you the way to say, this is how you have to practice, this is how you have to prepare? And
These two down here definitely have helped me a lot. Vanessa has helped me a lot. She's injured right now, but she's helped me a lot through it all.
as a freshman, you probably come in and I just want to get playing time and help the team. Do you have any goals? What are you hoping to accomplish?
Just to start on varsity, to be honest, and get some goals maybe.
Yeah. Just some goals.
Some goals.
You've got some seniors at the end of the table there that are helping you. I'm sure there are some others, some other
Yes.
upperclassmen you mentioned. Obviously, you need to be a sponge and learn from them, the leadership qualities they're passing down to you. So as you grow and develop, you can pass that down to other girls. Are you looking at that as like, hey, someday I'm going to be a leader of this team? I need to take all that in?
Yeah, I'm trying to get more leadership with helping with the other freshmen and stuff, and I'm hoping to get that leadership from the older classmen too.
And then who's your breakout player? Who do you think's going to have a big year?
I think Kaylee Minch, the center mid, is going to have a really good year this year.
Basketball player. I didn't know she played soccer. She didn't play last year.
No, she didn't play last year. And she's sort of acclimating. She came over north, and she's a heck of a center midfielder.
She's a killer.
Yeah. She can move the
So
ball.
And now the secret's out, ladies and gentlemen.
There it is.
You heard it here first.
It's
Breaking
actually
news.
Sydney. She's destructive with those feet.
What can I say?
All right, so Kaylee Minch, obviously an outstanding basketball player. Did she play at South? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
she
played.
played 2 years when the Mans were there, and with Matriano.
Okay.
She played for 2 years there.
All right, so a little secret weapon then.
Yeah, it'll make north-south night interesting.
Outstanding. Coach, on to you. Go ahead and grab that mic, make sure it's up, and then just introduce yourself and give us your outlook for 2022.
So my name's Sam Richter. I came on last year as mostly a JV coach, but also assist where as needed. I throw great team breakfasts. That's like my biggest attribute. But I'm actually a North alumni, and if you look at the conference banners back when it was the Premier Athletic Conference, the last year on there is my senior year, 2006. That's when we went 03, 04, 05, and 06. I don't think there has been a team since then that could have added another year to that banner until this one. And I really, truly, in my heart of hearts, think that this team can make an impressive, if not go all the way run at the WRC title. I think you guys have it in you. I think it's kind of lightning in a bottle. You don't get teams like this often. You don't get teams that when you're not at practice, you actually want to be back at practice. And I don't know about you guys, but the second I leave, I'm like, oh, I miss them. I'm ready to be back there. Like, it is, yeah. You need rest days, but I'm here to tell you this is a very special team with a lot of special qualities, and I think we're only going to get this group. Again, you only get this group one time, and I really hope that we just take this year and cherish it and see how far we can go, because I think this is a special group.
So you were part of a team that went on and won multiple conference titles in a row. And so you know that, yes, you need talent, but you also have to have that mindset. And you develop that mindset over the course of the year. So you're seeing that your girls have the talent to compete. What's it going to take to develop that winning mindset? Because that hasn't always been around. The girls have said they've always had the spirit. They've always had fun. But it's 0-0, 4 minutes left, or you're in overtime. I mean, those are different situations that they haven't been in yet.
Right. And actually, I think that is our last piece, is really just buying into the winning mentality. Sometimes, we are the first ones to get down on ourselves. Speaking, I don't want to speak for you guys, but I've heard it before where it's like, oh, we're North, and this is this powerhouse team. We can't win. Why are we even going? This school is 45 minutes away. This is embarrassing, And maybe in the past we've performed to that level. But again, I think our last piece to really, really be that team I know we can be is just that total, we just got to shift our mindset. And I think our senior captains have been, it's going to start with you guys, so no pressure or anything. But like Coach Rick said, we as coaches can tell you to believe in yourself all we want till we're blue in the face. But I'll tell you what, when there is a senior telling a freshman, like, you can do this and I'm pushing you to be as best as you can be, as a freshman, you look at that and you go, oh my gosh, like, if they believe in me, I'm going to give like everything to this. And I think for the first time, truly, I think you guys play for each other right now. Yeah. I don't think we've ever had that in the last little bit. I think it was, I don't want to say a selfish game, but people were like, how do I go out and get mine? How do I go get my 2 goals, my 3 assists? How do I do that? I think you guys genuinely, truly want to see each other succeed. And when you play for each other, you play for something bigger. And so I think that's where we're at. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be those moments, a 1-0 game or 0-0, and how are the girls going to step up in those moments? It's easy when you're playing a team and you're up 2-0 or 3-0, and everyone's having fun. But it's those pressure moments, and you're playing Kenston or you're playing Madison or Mayfield, all these teams that have had all these successful seasons, and you're like, oh, we could pull this out. Well, now you get the, bumps on your arms, the goosebumps, and, who's going to be the players that step up and deliver those key plays. And when they see the fear in the eyes of their teammates, who's going to say, hey, we got this? Who are those players, Coach? Anyone can step in.
I guess I'll go first. I think I'll speak for you on your behalf. Coach Rick, he has a child that's come out back, Ella Searle, who I am telling you, number one, you're going to see them on the field with the coolest green mohawk. Might be different by the time if anyone comes out to watch the games, but that is the difference maker. Since Ella has been here, you guys play like these punk rockers with like this new intensity, and it's amazing. So Ella Searle, if you're watching this, keep on rocking.
Keep that green mohawk, too. I want to see that.
Bless you, Ella.
Yes, Ella.
Coach, just last one for you is, you got to hear from your girls. You got to hear from your assistant coach. You got to hear me run my mouth a lot. But what's it going to take? I mean, obviously, you've got goals. Everyone wants to accomplish this, and this. But for you, what's it going to take to say, you know what, we had a year that I thought we could have?
I don't know if it's a number. I don't know if it's a number of wins. I mean, there's a big part of what I want from the season that I feel like stupidly maybe we've already attained. Like, like everyone said here so far, it's more than just a team now. It's like somewhere we want to be. And I think while wins are beautiful, and they're nice, at the end of the day, like I feel like this is probably the best group of players that I've ever coached. Not talent-wise, not anything else, just human being-wise. And everything else is gravy. I think it would be great to win the conference. I think this team has every possible potential out there. I mean, I think we have technical players, we have strong players, we have good goalie, we have Yaya on the back who's going to slide tackle everyone who steps onto the field, like she's, cashing checks with every tackle. And I just think from front to back, it's the first time it's the biggest decision we've ever had to make with, like, starting to decide on starting lineup and choosing varsity. We've never had this problem before. Like, it was never like, I don't really know how we leave some people off the field. And just that in and of itself, and I think and I mentioned this when we were talking earlier, I think that we've started to be a program that people aren't going to be looking to go to privates maybe to get away from.
Right.
Hopefully we don't lose some of the players we've lost to Lake or Gilmore or other schools,
And that helps build.
Absolutely.
Build it and they will come.
Yeah. Oh, we got a 6-foot freshman, too, so that helps.
Paul
He's
Force
fast
is
as
licking
all
his
get out.
chops, too, then, right? Is she a basketball player, Sid?
Yeah. A fast
All right.
6-foot-tall freshman is real nice to have.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, well, that was a great way to kick off our North Rangers Fall Sports Media Day here with the girls soccer program. Appreciate y'all making the trip.
All right,
Looking
thanks for
forward to
having us.
seeing you kicking off, Saturday?
Saturday, 1 o'clock.
All right.
North and West.
Best of luck to you this season. I will see you out there many times.
All right, have a good one.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, I believe we have the North Cheerleaders. So we're going to go ahead and our presentation tonight is brought to you by OhioVarsity.com. And if you see those fancy little custom photo balls on the table, those are one of our top sellers. So I just want to give you a little opportunity to learn more about those as we wait for the cheerleaders to head up here to the head table.
Custom sports balls from OhioVarsity.com are a great way to recognize your favorite athletes and coaches. Whether it's for an end-of-season award or a Player of the Week honor, we've got you covered. From baseball to volleyball, our sports balls are customizable with player photos, names, numbers, statistics, accomplishments, and anything else you'd like to feature on the ball. We even have custom megaphones for your favorite cheerleaders. Visit OhioVarsity.com or email us at sales@OhioVarsity.com to learn more about our custom sports balls.
All right, coming up next are the North Rangers cheerleaders. It's the first time I've had a cheerleading team at a media day, so this will be interesting. Looks like we've got a crew of 4 joining us here. I thought we were going to have pom-poms and all kinds of... Are you guys going to do like cartwheels to jump into your seats? Nothing like that? All right, just grab a seat, and on your microphones there's a little black switch. When it's your turn to talk, just make sure that switch is up, and we'll be good to go. And slide down just so I can get you in the screen there all the way to the left. And we'll keep you, there you go. All right, let's start left to right, and we'll just go right away. Just introduce yourselves, names and grades. So grab your microphone, flip it up, and just tell us your name and your grade.
Hi, my name is Annie Gillespie, and I'm in 10th grade.
My name is Alex Moncrief, and I'm going to be in 12th grade.
My name is Brooke, and I'm going to be in 12th grade.
My name is Sophia, and I'm going to be in 11th grade.
All right, so sophomore, 2 seniors, and a junior. Do we have a captain, squad captain? No? All right, who wants to act as our, who's going to be coach today? Who wants to be the coach? It's going to have to be one of the seniors. How's that? All right, so just give us a little overview of your team. Are you guys just a sideline cheer team? Are you competitive? Do you guys compete in any competitions, anything like that?
We just do sideline. There are 15 of us this year, 7 seniors.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. We have a few things that we do for like our student section, and that's pretty much it. Cheer on the boys.
All right, so let's see. You guys are the seniors. Give me all the seniors on the squad. Let's give them a shout out.
Okay, we have me and Brooke, Hannah, Tyasia, Caitlin, Brenna, and Anaya.
All right, and junior. Go ahead and name all the juniors. Can you remember them all? It's like a pop quiz before school starts.
All right, so we have Olivia, Holly, Ava. Is there anyone else? No, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it.
All right, and now to the sophomores. How many sophomores do we have out there?
There are 4, including me. Their names are Jenna, Kayla, and Alana.
See, it looks like she did her homework. She studied. Are there any freshmen? Or is it just sophomores all the way up? Now, is that 15 girls, JV and varsity, or is that a 15? Wow, okay, that's a big squad. So did you guys, a lot of cheer teams go to a camp over the summer? Did you guys do something like that this year? No camp? So when did you guys start practicing? Use your mics. There you go.
And
I
about,
can hear
like,
you, but the folks at home
July,
need to hear you. All right, so you started practicing in July. Did you have tryouts, cuts, that kind of thing?
We had tryouts in like mid-May, and then we had some people that were cut.
Is that cut process as nerve-wracking as it is? And like, my daughter played volleyball, and you go in volleyball tryouts, and that day everyone gets the envelope. You come home, and it's so nerve-wracking.
We have like
Flip your switch up. There you go.
Sorry.
That's
we go
good.
in the morning and we have tryouts. It's like a group of 3. Everyone goes in like 3 at a time, and then you have to wait like all day until like 5:30. They'll post a list on one of the doors. So
Oh,
you
that's
go
a
up
long
there-
wait.
Yeah. You go up there waiting to see what squad you're on, see if you made it or not. So
I know
it's
I
very
had,
nerve-wracking.
I had the worst number. I was number 1, and I was just
No.
like, oh
That's
my
terrifying.
gosh.
And it was raining when we saw our names on the thing too, so it was like driving in the rain.
Yeah.
That's pretty nerve-wracking. So
Mhm.
what do you guys have planned for this year? What can the student section expect out of their cheerleaders?
Well, we have TP night coming up
Yeah, that's true.
Thursday.
On Thursday night.
So
Isn't TP night supposed to be like secret? They're not supposed to know
So
you're announcing it.
It's very known because they TP us too.
Yeah.
I
So
see.
the senior football players TP the senior cheerleaders, and then the varsity TPs the senior boys.
And the cops know about it too,
Yeah.
so we don't get in trouble.
yeah,
or
and there's
anything.
like a sign that says
Yeah, that has their names on it.
Mm-hmm.
So
I remember last year, I think it might have been the year before, but I remember Coach Dodd had posted some pictures. Somebody got his house. Is that the cheerleaders? You guys do that
I
handiwork?
think the football players do.
Oh, they got
that.
it?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. I wonder if he made them run extra after that. I'd make him at least come clean it up. Cleaning up toilet paper is not an easy thing to do.
Oh,
I hope
yeah.
it doesn't rain.
One
so.
year it rained really
Well, yeah, one year
bad,
it rained really
and
bad.
if you're next to a bunch of them, it sucks.
Yeah,
Do you have the same 15 for basketball, or does that change?
it changes.
So you go through that whole tryout process again?
It's actually the same day. So usually, like it depends on your score. If you'll be on varsity for basketball or varsity for football.
Oh, I see. So tryout in July, and that's for winter
Both of
and
them.
fall.
Yep.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and usually we have less people on
Yeah.
basketball usually because we're inside and smushed more. So
Right,
There's
right.
usually less than there
There's
is on
usually about
football.
9 to 10 girls.
Have you guys all been cheerleading all your lives?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've actually cheered with all these girls through
Most-
middle school.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever done the competitive side? Has,
No.
No,
don't
we don't have a team.
We
team
used
anymore.
we used to have a competitive team, but not anymore.
is that something you have talked about bringing back?
We don't know. I don't
It's
know.
more up to the coaches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's mostly the coaches who have a say in that.
Because I think the coach that did it, she gave birth to twins, so I think she
Yeah, she was not
gave
up
it
for
up.
it.
And then I know, like, I work with the Chagrin Valley Conference a lot. They have a big cheerleading thing. It's not really a competition, but it's a sideline cheer. So they come in,
Yeah.
they do their routines. Do you guys do anything like that in the WRC?
We used to have like a cheer competition, just like all varsity teams would go and they would compete. and I don't know what happened to that. I think they took it away during COVID, and I don't think it's come back yet.
Sounds like
Yeah.
Mr. Riley needs to bring that back and host it at North this year.
Yeah, I
does.
should.
All right, Mr. Riley, I'll make you a deal. You bring it back, and I'll live stream it. So there's your deal. We'll do the cheerleading competition for the WRC. All right. So what do you guys do anything else? Do you have like team building, anything like that? I mean, all the sports teams, they do different things. What do cheerleaders do?
I feel like we're all really close and we all hang out
Yeah.
a lot.
A lot of times it's just us.
Mhm. We just had like a barbecue last night with some of the football players and
Yeah.
trainers, so that was pretty fun. It was just really cold.
Yeah,
the
we
water
had a,
was
we had a pool
freezing.
party and like a picnic. We had
Right.
cornhole, like.
Yeah, which I'm
everything.
still mad about, Annie.
She's a sore loser.
Yeah, me and Sophia didn't do
Yeah,
very well.
we next year we'll get them.
What do you do during school to kind of get the student body more involved and out there cheering and participating? There's nothing worse than going to a student section and their cheerleaders are out there trying to get the kids pumped up and they're all like on their phones. And how do you deal with that when kids aren't really paying attention and you got to get them involved?
Usually we try and get as many seniors as possible because the whole front of the student section is always like the seniors, and they're the ones who are telling us to come over and get them going.
Well, I always see the mad rush. Everybody
Yeah.
wants that front
Everyone
row.
wants to
So
be right in
that's the
front.
coveted
So
spot.
funny.
And I think there's a student section Twitter page, and there's also an Instagram page, so they always tweet or they post things, so that way you could tell exactly when you need to be there, where it's going to be, what the theme is, so that way everyone could show up full spirit.
Do you guys run that theme, or is that somebody else? That,
No.
Someone
It's the
else.
student
It's student
sections.
council
Yeah.
sometimes, someone off there, or whoever wants to run it.
all right. And then who's the basketball cheerleaders here? Anybody?
I think, are we all basketball?
I don't play basketball.
Oh,
Or
Okay, so just us
me and
two.
Brooke.
Yeah.
Okay. And then do you do different things for the inside sports? Do you change things up?
It's mostly, a lot of it's the same, but there's also different. Like all of our normal chants that we do stay the same, but we also have like a starting five. We'll like do a cheer for the starting five boys, and yeah.
Why do you guys not do like halftime routines or anything like that? I know the bands play, but there's a little bit of time there. You guys should have. They should give the cheerleaders, their own time for a routine.
Well, we usually do that in basketball. Like, we usually have a halftime routine, a cheer to do during halftime then, but the band takes up the time for football.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
like things that we do in between the quarters
Oh, yeah.
of football games, so we'll do that like for either the parents or like in front of the student section. So we have like a few little things we do, but we don't do a full halftime. We leave it to the band.
All right. All right. Well, what's it going to be? Fall, obviously, you guys, I always ask teams about goals and stuff. I can't ask you guys goals. You're just out there cheering. I mean, obviously you want the football team to win and do well. It's easier to cheer when everyone's happy, but, when a team's losing 49-0, they don't want to, go team. Nobody wants that part of it. How do you deal with situations like that where things aren't going well and you still have a job to do?
I mean, I feel like we just all have to stay positive because, we are there to cheer on the team no matter what the outcome of the game is or how well the players are playing. We're there to cheer them on no matter what.
Yeah, and I feel like we all have each other to keep each other like positive and up, especially when it's freezing outside.
Oh, yeah.
It's so
Those are the worst.
That's
it's
hard.
not the most enjoyable, but
You're
we all
right.
try and
I'm on the
stick together.
sidelines too, taking pictures, and those cold, wet games. Yeah, I don't want to be there either, so I don't blame you. But do you guys? Oh, I was almost going to say, do you steal cheers? But I just learned a new phrase: educational sharing. So when you see a squad that does something pretty cool, do you guys borrow it?
Well, I know we took a lot from Willowick Middle School because I think the coach coached all of our coaches. So they took a lot of stuff and cheers from Willowick Middle.
We also used to have like cheer camps during the summer, so it'd be a lot of like learning new chants during that. Another thing we don't do anymore.
Yeah.
You got to bring some of that stuff back. Pass that mic back down to our sophomore there, Annie, right?
Yes.
So Annie, you've got the upperclassmen here, and you're kind of over there a little bit quiet, and eventually you're going to have to be in their shoes where you've got to be the one leading cheers and getting the other girls inspired. What are you learning from the older group to help you later in life?
Really just to how to demonstrate cheers more, like paying attention to how they run through things, so that, because we go through a lot of cheers during one practice because we have a lot of chants and a lot of different things that we have to get done. So really just like time management's a good thing that I've learned from them for the later years.
Being a sophomore, have you been on varsity yet for Friday nights?
No, because for North, the freshmen all go on a freshman squad, and then after that, sophomores and up can try out for JV and varsity.
Okay, so this is your first Friday night lights then. You excited, a little nervous too?
I'm very excited. I know that the other sophomores on the squad are also very excited. It's an exciting thing to be with such an older group of people trying to do something.
All right, so I'm going to ask everyone else. You haven't had that experience yet, so I assume I know the answer to this last question I'll ask you guys, but what's your favorite game to cheer for? You can pass that mic down and just let it roll. I think I know, but...
Probably North-South.
Yeah.
North-South.
North-South, 100%.
North-South.
And it's a home game this year, so that makes it even better. Are you guys planning anything special for that game?
Usually the seniors will go out and TP houses again.
Yep.
We'll go. Boys will get TP'd again. We'll get TP'd again. More stuff to clean up. But
TPing houses in Willoughby this time, or is it?
We just
I don't think the
boys.
police in Willoughby are going to give you a pass for that one. So.
We just do our boys.
No, and then we have pep rally that week, which is so
Right.
much
Pep
fun.
rallies, spirit week, get to dress up every day.
All right. Well,
I love Spirit Week.
Spirit Week. Do you guys still dress up like South nerds? Is that what they still do?
Every Thursday.
I take offense to that.
It's always a Thursday.
I went to South, and so yeah. So I see like pictures in the yearbooks about the South nerds, and
Yeah.
so powder blue. We call it Columbia blue or Rebel blue, but it's all right. But all right, ladies, I appreciate you coming out. Like I said, this is my first cheer team I've had at a media day, so it was kind of fun. Yeah, it's hard to come up with questions for cheerleaders. I mean, you can't ask them about who's the best player on your team, that kind of stuff. But all right, well, I will see you on the sidelines quite a bit this year. So thank you for coming, and good luck this season.
Thank you for
Stay
having
dry,
us.
hopefully.
Yeah,
dry
you
and
too.
warm. Dry and warm. That's always good. So. All right, that was the North cheerleaders here at the North Rangers Fall Sports Media Day. Up next, we've got the girls tennis team. Give them a couple of minutes to pop in here. Coming up with head coach Nick Mayer, and they should be here momentarily. welcome back to North High School for the 2022 North Rangers Fall Sports Media Day. I am Steve Hare with OhioVarsity.com, and up next we've got the girls tennis team. Head coach Nick Mayer is not here, but we've got 3 of the players, so we're going to start all the way to our left, and just go ahead and grab that microphone and introduce yourself, name, grade, and what position you're playing as far as, first singles, second singles, third singles, or doubles.
All right, I'm Megan Panchula. I'm going to be going into 11th grade this year. I play second singles for Varsity.
So this year, North Tennis isn't one of those programs everyone knows about. It's an up-and-coming program. Coaching changed recently, so things are a little bit different. How long have you been playing for the Rangers?
I have been playing for the Rangers since my freshman year.
So you've been around a little bit. You were here for the coaching change. How different is things as far as the coaching aspect?
I think for the coaching aspect, I really like our coach. Our coach has done a lot with working with our players last year, and we've progressed a lot as a team and as individuals, because you have to remember with tennis, although it's like a group aspect and you still have that team mentality, it gets broken down into singles players and doubles players. And our coach does a really good job with making sure that we are still a team, but still works on our individual components that we need to get, play games as effectively as we can and actually win games.
So from freshman year to junior year, how have you developed as a player?
As a player, I think I've developed a lot, especially on serves and getting points and just the mentality. Tennis is a big mental sport. If you think that, you're going to lose, you're going to lose. He's really made sure that we all know that you are here, you're going to do your best, and if you're in it to win it, then you're going to get points, you're going to start winning.
Have you guys started your season?
Our first match is tomorrow, but we have been doing practices for the past 2 weeks.
And then just competitively, I have to believe that you're ready to go just after, a long preseason. How exciting is it to kick off tomorrow, and, what are you hoping to accomplish in that first match?
So it's super exciting to get the tennis season started. There's always, the nerves of the first match and playing, and I know some of our teams have already been in our conference, have already started playing, but it's super excited, and I think we're looking good this year. I think everybody's super ready. I think we're actually going to take matches and games, and it's going to be so much fun.
Over the past couple of years, there weren't that many wins. Are you guys a little more confident this year, thinking that maybe we'll be a little more competitive and can change that culture?
Yeah, I think we're going to be super competitive this year. I think our preseason, we did a lot of work. We got some good freshmen coming out to play with us. Obviously, we miss our seniors that, already graduated and stuff, but we're super fortunate to have the players that we do, and we've worked really hard. So I think we're actually going to be fairly competitive this year.
Without mentioning the girls that are at the table, since we're going to talk to them, talk about some of the other girls on the team who you think are going to kind of have a breakthrough year for the Rangers.
So I think I'm really excited to see how our doubles teams are going to play. So the Gomolka sisters, Ashley and Kayla Gomolka, I'm really excited to see what they can do. They were playing doubles last year, and they're going to play doubles again this year. Super excited. They've been working hard, working on communication, because the tennis moves fast. It's a quick sport. Things flash in your eyes, and they're getting that communication down. I'm super excited to see what they're going to do, as well as our other doubles teams.
What are your goals for the year, just from an individual perspective?
From an individual perspective, I'm super excited to understand the sport more. Tennis is one of those things that you have to understand the swing and the technique behind it. So perfecting technique, perfecting serves, and having fun. Because no sport is worth it if you're not having fun.
Absolutely. And then, are you a captain by chance?
I am a captain.
I was going to say, if you're
Yes.
not, you should be, because
Yes.
you're well spoken. You described a lot of key aspects to being successful as a team. So I'm glad to hear you're a captain. You obviously deserve it. So,
Thank you.
all right, let's go to the middle there. Go ahead and grab that microphone and introduce yourself, name, grade, and what role you're playing this year.
Hi, my name is Gabby Canado. I'm going to be in 10th grade, and I play third singles for Varsity.
Okay, so coming in as a sophomore on Varsity, is that nerve-wracking for you?
Oh, it is very nerve-wracking because I'm playing such a different role compared to last year. So the challenge is obviously going to be really different, but I'm excited to see the change, especially because I've improved so much. So
What did you do last year? Were you in doubles?
Yeah, I was doubles.
How different is that for a player? I mean, obviously tennis is tennis, but when you're on a court with another player, you have to communicate a little bit more, and you take different roles there. As a singles player, it's you and a line, so you've got to do it all.
My coach has definitely been trying to prepare me for this because it is a big change. You know, there are certain there are things that are better for doubles, but there are also down aspects of that. For doubles, obviously you have to have good communication skills, and sometimes your partner can't always be dependable. But with singles, they have singles and doubles lines, so you have to cover more space yourself. So, but it's also easier because you don't always have to depend on another person, and it's more independent.
And you have nobody else to blame except yourself.
Yeah.
So last year, being a freshman, you're playing varsity doubles. A little bit easier because you have that partner. But now you're a sophomore. You're still a little nervous. But how did you grow as a player from a confidence perspective, going from freshman to sophomore season?
Confidence-wise, honestly, I wasn't that confident last year, but I went to the boys' practices, and he had optional practices over the summer that I went to, so I just really grew my skills, and I saw what I could do as a player.
And what are you hoping to accomplish this year?
This year I'm hoping to accomplish, obviously, just winning more wins and seeing how much I grow more by the end of the season.
As a sophomore, you could be part of a culture shift. You could be here, we can put North Tennis on the map. Is that something that you and your teammates have talked about?
Oh, we have talked about this a lot. Because changing the way North Tennis is, it's going to take some time, but getting all these new freshmen and starting from the bottom, we're excited to see what North can be in a few years, and I'm excited to be a part of that change.
The girls' soccer team opened up Fall Sports Media Day here tonight, and they're in the middle of that. They started out, last year they had 8 wins. The last 7 years they had 7 wins, so, combined. So, they've seen the fruits of their labors, where they've had those hard years, but kids started to believe in themselves, and now the results are coming, and the similar thing can happen, but it's going to take everybody taking that step, putting in the work. Do you see that out of your teammates?
I definitely see that a part of my teammates. It wasn't just me showing up to the summer practices. A lot of my teammates also put in the work, and I'm excited to see how much they grow too individually and how we grow as a team.
Who are a couple players that you think are going to come out and surprise people this year?
One of the freshmen this year, Mila, I played with her in middle school, and I was so surprised to see just how much she grew. Especially, she has really good footwork, and she moves to get the ball. So I'm just really excited to watch her grow these next few years.
All right, good luck to you this year. On to you, to my right. Go ahead and grab that mic. Make sure your black switch is up. Introduce yourself, name, grade, and what role are you playing this year?
Hi, my name is Grace Warwick. I'm in grade 10, and I'm playing first singles varsity.
And what did you do last year?
Well, I played for third singles mostly for varsity, but I had to play some second and first singles as well.
Are you feeling any additional pressure now being that first singles player?
Definitely, especially as a sophomore, there's a lot of pressure. However, I do feel a lot more confident in my skills than previous years, not only because of my coach, but the teammates, and just the little things that really matter when you're playing a sport.
What's the strength of your game?
I like to say my forehands are pretty decent. I really like to hit those deep shots, corner shots. I'm a line player, so I like to dig up those winners, to be honest.
How do you guys practice? I mean, obviously you have a lot of singles players, you have a lot of doubles players, but is there some crossover? Do you get any work in at doubles, that kind of thing? How do you structure practices?
Well, one of the things I really appreciate and enjoy about tennis and the way our team works is that I do get to play some double matches here or there, and some doubles get to play singles, because it's all about technique a lot. You have these plays that are specifically for singles and you have them for doubles, but at the end of the day, you just want to get it in range, get that footwork set in, just get into that mindset of a tennis player. So we've all had equal practice either way.
playing third singles last year. I'm sure you played some girls that you're going to see this year at first singles as, every school graduates kids, other kids get better and they move up. So you're going to have some familiarity, but you're also going to see some girls that you haven't played. What do you do when you get into that situation? You can't game plan for them. You don't know their style or don't know how they play. How do you prepare for something like that?
Well, I think a lot of it is during the 5-10 minutes before match. You see them practicing, and you get to really know their styles. It's important to know whether a right-handy or left-handy, because it obviously depends on whether you want to hit to their backhand or their forehand or what kind of serve they do. I also had the privilege this year of playing with girls from all over Lake County, with a opportunity down at Sugar River, so I'm hoping to see their faces again, hopefully get some matches in,
So we've got 2 sophomores and a junior here, so the future has to be pretty bright at North, and that has to drive a lot of that optimism that I've heard out of you girls. And the rest of the roster, I mean, do we have seniors, juniors, sophomores, freshmen? How's that broken down?
Well, I think we have 1 senior this year. 2 seniors? Oh, we do have 2 seniors. Like I said, we have got a lot of freshmen, and we've got obviously 2 juniors and such. And I personally think we've got a lot going for us. I'm seeing a lot of good things as a freshman. I'm seeing things in freshmen I didn't even have, so I'm really hopeful.
All right, and so just, obviously as a team, you're growing as a team individually. That's the nice thing about tennis is your team doesn't have to, win the sectional title for you guys to advance. You can do it as individuals. Does that help your mentality, just knowing that, hey, if I work hard enough and I do my thing, I can advance? I mean, you want your teammates to go with you, but just having that opportunity to advance in the postseason?
And yes, like you said, obviously it's you want the team to win, but as an individual, it's kind of mostly about your drive and how you want to approach a win and even a loss, because mentality is important when you're playing a sport, or even mindsets. But definitely, getting to that individual mindset where I'm going to win this, you've got to want it, and hopefully that's where you'll end up.
All right. And then just you give me, who do you think is going to have a breakout year for the Rangers this year?
That's a difficult question. I'm seeing so much improvement. I really hope third singles and second singles get their year today, or this year.
All right, ladies, I appreciate you being here. I wish you a lot of luck this year, and I'll see you out there on the court somewhere at some point. So appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
That was the North Rangers girls tennis team here at North Rangers Fall Sports Media Day. Next up, we've got the cross-country team. So I believe I saw a couple of them coming in. So, all right, ladies, thank you. Appreciate it. So once again, we will take a quick break here as the cross-country team makes its way up to the stage, and we'll be back momentarily.
Custom sports balls from OhioVarsity.com are a great way to recognize your favorite athletes and coaches. Whether it's for an end-of-season award or a Player of the Week honor, we've got you covered. From baseball to volleyball, our sports balls are customizable with player photos, names, numbers, statistics, accomplishments, and anything else you'd like to feature on the ball. We even have custom megaphones for your favorite cheerleaders. Visit OhioVarsity.com or email us at sales@OhioVarsity.com to learn more about our custom sports balls.
Welcome back to North High School for the 2022 North Rangers Fall Sports Media Day. I am Steve Hare with OhioVarsity.com, and joining us next is the cross-country team here from North. And once again, I am trying something new here using a green screen. So if you notice the gentleman on the left, half of his shirt is missing because his shirt color is just too close to the chroma color that we have. So he really does have shoulders. You just can't see him in the broadcast. It's something I'll refine as we continue to do these types of things. But once again, glad to have you all tuning in to learn more about the Rangers this season. We're going to start all the way to our left, and just grab that microphone. Go ahead and introduce yourself, name, grade, and PR that you've got heading into this year.
Hello, my name is Alec McNally. I am going to be a junior this year, would be 11th grade, and my PR is 20 flat.
So 20 flat coming in, you've got to get to the state meet, you've got to be around 16 or so, in that range. So you got some work to do. But what are you hoping to accomplish this season after you're coming in coming off of that season last year?
Well, so far that putting a lot of miles in, getting a lot of fast endurance in, getting all those hills in, because every course you're going to see is going to always have hills. And what my parents always tell me is, always do what bestly as you could and use always those hills, and they really help you when you run fast. And I will tell you, I fly through all these meets by doing these workouts, so I am gladly interested for cross country and all that.
How long have you been running?
4 years.
Okay, so you've been around, so you know what it takes. That jump from middle school to high school, 2 miles to a 5K, how different was that for you?
Oh, man, I would definitely say that the middle school was way shorter, but with high school, it's like an extra mile long. But once I'm getting every practice, it's been really helping me, especially with long distance. So that's what makes me putting those miles in and becoming a great runner.
Yeah, and you adapt, you get stronger, that type of thing. But from where you started to where you are now, how satisfied are you with your development as a runner?
Oh, heck yeah, man. I am definitely satisfied from improving all the way from middle school, which I would have 12.06, and right now in high school with 20 flat. And I made the varsity actually by the end of my season. And then, of course, with the 10th grade, there's just been some fallouts going on. But my junior year I'm in right now is going so much better. And putting all these miles and running with somebody. It's always good to run with somebody, especially.
Yeah.
Because it gets you really improving, basically, and it gets you company where you want to run with.
Yeah,
and then running by yourself.
Right. I was going to ask, how's that competition at practice? I mean, it always helps to have somebody, that runs a little bit faster than you. You can kind of, chase them a little bit to push your pace. Nice to have somebody behind you that can push you a little bit as well. So that competition just among the team, how is that going so far?
Oh, man, it's going pretty good. I have one of my friends that's with the same time as I am, and we just go fighting towards each other throughout the whole race. And it really helps me throughout the whole race this whole time.
Not mentioning any of the guys that are at the table since we're going to talk to them, but who are some of the other runners that you think are going to have a big year this year?
I would definitely say everyone that's on the team.
Everybody's pushing the pace and just getting eager to start?
Correct, yes.
You guys open up at Riverside, the Light Up the Night meet?
Mm-hmm.
August
yes,
27th?
night.
All right. And then what are your goals for your junior year? What are you hoping to accomplish this season?
Well, what I'm hoping to accomplish this season is by listening to the coach of what he tells us to do every practice, because the way how he's doing it is definitely making a lot of good improvements to help throughout this whole race, and that's why he's doing this nightlight run tomorrow to see how it goes.
All right, let's go over there to the middle and go ahead and introduce you. Same thing. Introduce yourself. Same thing. Name, grade, and what's your PR?
All right. Hello. My name is Benjamin Messimer. I'm going into my junior year, so 11th grade. And my PR currently is a 21:30.
Okay. So coming into junior year, again, going back to, when you first started running to where you are now, how satisfied are you with your progress?
I'm pretty satisfied with my progress. I do want to, work on my pace more because from where I started to now, I have gotten faster, but I've also had a season where I was injured. So I'm coming back from that now, and I'm trying to improve my pace.
Yeah, you lose a lot when running's one of those things that your skills diminish quickly when you don't run for a while. But so what have you done to kind of get yourself ready for this season?
Well, I've had a lot of physical therapy throughout the summer, and I've just been putting in more miles. Like Alec had said, it's the best way to get faster is just by putting in the mileage and going from practice to practice, trying your best. And I also have these knee bands that hold my Osgood Schlatter, it's called. So it helps with the pain in my knees that I experience.
So running, everybody has a little bit of pain, and they have to push through adversity. You have a little bit of extra pain and adversity to go through. How do you deal with all that? I mean, it's hard enough to run and get that 5K in a competitive environment, and then when you have that external factor too, where you have the pain in your knees, how do you deal with that during a race?
Well, it's a lot mentally. So as long as I'm thinking about just finishing and my strides and everything, I can help suppress the pain by just focusing on my goal and continuing throughout the race.
It's one of the things I really like about cross country is you do develop that mental toughness. Whether you want to or not, it's going to come if you're running a race like that. But looking at some of your teammates, who are some of the guys that have impressed you so far in the preseason?
Well, Troy Federici always impresses me. He is great at running. And he's been doing amazing this season. He ran a half marathon just the other day on his own.
Just for fun.
Just for fun.
See, in all my other media days that I've done, I always talk about runners, and I say this with it's the utmost compliment, but runners are weird. To go out and say, oh, this is fun. It's not fun, but I mean, when I run, it's like, okay, you finish running, that's fun. But boy, to have fun in running, I mean, you do it because you enjoy it, but you have to agree with me. It's a lot more fun when you finish, right?
Yeah, it is that feeling that you get once you cross the finish line and are done with a race is amazing. But the journey throughout a race is also great. Just in a way, the pain feels good.
Oh, that's where I talk about. That's weird. But in a good way. I mean, that's great. I'm glad you see it that way. Troy, obviously, he was 10th or 11th in the conference meet last year. One of those guys that has that potential to get to regionals and states. When you have a guy like that on the team and you're practicing with him every day, how does that help push you to become a better runner?
Well, he's very good at pushing us. He is always making sure that the team is all with him and continuing to try, and he's always checking up on people, so he's a great addition to everyone.
What are your goals for this year?
My goal for this year is to run under a 20-minute 3-mile.
All right, good luck to you, and I hope that pain subsides.
Thank you.
Good luck to you. All right, on to my right. Go ahead and grab that mic. Introduce yourself, name, grade, and what's your PR?
Hey, I'm Matthew Dupnock. I'm a freshman, and my PR is a 1953.
Okay, so you're one of those guys coming up from 8th grade to 9th grade, and that 2-mile to a 5K. You already have a PR, so I assume you've run some 5Ks already. How different is it for you?
That extra mile, it really set my pace like all out of whack. So I'm starting to build it back up again. So I'm starting to get more comfortable with it, and it hasn't really been too much of an issue anymore.
When you're doing that 2-mile, you can almost run it at a really fast pace. When you add that extra mile, it's like, oh wait, my pace. You don't want to drop, so much time in that pace. But so how did you kind of adjust yourself to handle that extra mile?
So I definitely, for the first couple weeks going into high school, I slowed down my pace to probably a 9-minute, maybe high 8, and I just got used to that extra mile.
What have you learned from, like I said, you've got a great runner on your team in Troy that has, excelled at the conference level and beyond, and you have some of the other upperclassmen here that are talking about their journeys through cross country. What have you learned from those guys that has helped you so far this season?
I've learned that you really do have to build a long run endurance before you can push yourself to a faster pace overall, regardless of how short distance you're going, you still have to have that long distance pace.
Obviously, you have some goals that you want to establish. Has Coach kind of talked to you too as a freshman, like, hey, set some reasonable goals? We don't want you to, try and do too much too early?
He hasn't really said much yet. I've been trying to keep up with Troy. I mean, that's gonna be pretty hard.
Right.
But I've been doing pretty well, I'd say.
What is your goal for freshman year?
I think I want to get to an 18.
Okay.
Possibly a sub 18.
So you're pretty close, so it's going to take a lot of hard work, though.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about some of the other guys on the team. Who do you look up to? I mean, obviously Troy, but who are some of the other guys you think are going to have a big year?
Jake Snyder. He is a sophomore, and he's been he's been neck and neck with me, so it's always fun to run with him, see who comes out on first.
All right. Sounds good. Well, I appreciate you guys making the trip up here, and good luck to you in that meet coming up and all season long. Hope run fast, run far, and do big things this year.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. That was the North Rangers cross-country team here at the Fall Sports Media Day. Up next, we've got the North Rangers football team. So we'll take a quick break as they get set up here at the head table. Welcome back to North High School for the 2022 North Rangers Fall Sports Media Day. I am Steve Hare with OhioVarsity.com. Up next, we've got the Ranger football team, head coach Sean Dodd right there in the middle. Coach, got to imagine week one, it's game week. It's probably the most exciting time of the year. I got to see you out at the scrimmage a couple weekends ago, and, how are things looking? Give us a quick overview of the Rangers this year. Flip that little black switch up on your mic. There you go.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Yeah, very excited. Summer went by fast. I can't believe week one's already here. I already finished with 2 days. Very optimistic coming in. Wasn't sure what to expect coming into this season. A lot of unknowns, replacing some guys, especially up front. Some history the last 6 years or so of D1 guys up front, so some new faces. But very coachable group. They continue to get a little bit better. We've had a few setbacks here and there, but fun group to coach so far.
Yeah, I know you talked about those D1 guys up front, but you brought some beef back this year, at least it looked like on the scrimmage. And to your right, there's a couple of guys there that look like they enjoy themselves at the dinner table. So, they've got some size. Quarterback-wise, it looks like you're a little bit solidified there. Saw you slinging the ball around a little bit at this scrimmage. I know you've got, Curtis big game breaker. He became a household name last year. So what's it going to take for this team to do some big things this year?
Discipline. That's been kind of our word now after scrimmages. The kids have really taken to film, watching film and understanding how to watch film and looking at the mistakes that we're making. So if our guys can really just focus on the discipline and eliminate the mistakes and not shoot ourselves in the foot, I think we've got a chance to be competitive in every game. That'll be yet to be seen once we get out there. We're going to have a great week of practice. We have to start off fast with the way our schedule is before we get into the WRC. I look at those first 3 as must-win type of games in order for us to get into the playoffs. But if we can eliminate mistakes and not beat ourselves and try to beat the other team, if we can just focus on trying to beat the other team, I think we've got a good shot week in and week out. Yeah,
we've talked every week after games, and that seems to be a trend. As you were right there, and then something would happen, and that an offsides call something as simple as that could flip a game, and it changes the momentum, and it stalls a drive, that type of thing. So yeah, obviously, defense. In this league. The teams they're bringing it, whether it's Chardon just running the ball down your throat or, the teams that like to sling it around. How's the defense looking this year?
Good. That's an area where we have a little bit more experience back on that side of the ball. The back end's a little bit new, but the linebacking core and the guys up front have a little bit more experience. We're going to lean on those guys. And in our conference, everybody wants to run the football. Teams aren't afraid to throw it. Duff will throw it at South, and Riverside will throw it a little bit. Kensett will throw a little bit. But you have to be able to stop the run in the WRC. So that's what our emphasis has been all summer, is really trying to stop the run, and then we'll play the pass second. But I like what we have at the back end, too. I think we're a little bit faster team speed overall on the defensive side of the ball. So I'm excited to see how that plays out on Friday.
One of the biggest challenges you have isn't necessarily lining up the right guys on offense and defense. It's the mental game, and you come into a conference where, Chardon's got back-to-back state titles. Kenston was, out at state a few years ago. Riverside, everyone's talking about them this year. So there isn't a night off. Guys can't come just saying, this one's going to be easy. You have to come and bring it every night. How do you get them prepared to do that?
Yeah, and we've kind of talked about that actually the other day at the end of one of our practices or scrimmage. We kind of talked to that effect, those exact same words of, in our schedule, our conference, there isn't a soft spot in the schedule. There isn't a game that, hey, we're supposed to win. We're kind of that team that people might circle or look at, and until we prove people wrong and start beating people on a consistent basis, we're going to stay that team. So it's up to us to kind of flip the script a little bit. So our guys know they've got to bring it every single week and to respect every opponent, not fear anybody. No disrespect to Chardon or all the success they've had, but hopefully we're not afraid of them. Hopefully we get excited for that opportunity. We want to rise up to that challenge and not fear them.
That's a key. You can't go into a game already defeated because you lost before you got there. So
right,
hopefully
exactly.
the mental side of it's there. So, all right, Coach, appreciate you being here. We'll start throwing it out at you guys. Let's start all the way on the end there. Go ahead and grab that microphone in front of you and just introduce yourself, name, grade, and what positions you're playing this year.
Hi, I'm Antonio Golomovic. I'm the right guard senior.
Antonio coming in, the offensive line at North over the past couple of years has generated some pretty good talent. Do we see that same thing coming out of this group this year?
Yeah, for sure. Me a right guard. I'm a pretty big dude. I'm learning as I go. I've been learning so much. I looked at the past few years. I looked at we got Ethan and Bear. I look at them, try to study from them, see what I could do, take what I got. And we got Lath right here, who bit the right tackle this year. He's got good size, he got good speed, got good strength. Will be. And the same thing on the other side of the line. We got Nate Gangoff at left tackle, big guy, very strong. And then we got the left guard, Dre. He's very skillful too, big guy too. And at center we got Owen Sinchek. Same thing, We're good across the board, across the line.
Football is filled with cliches, but one of the truest cliches you'll ever hear is football is a game that's won up front. The big guys are, you're going to set the tone. You're going to do everything offensively and defense. The mental side of that coming in, as we were just talking with Coach Dodd, how are you guys getting prepared when you're coming in to face the Chardons and the Kenstons and the Riversides, all these teams that they come in with a lot of confidence already? How are you guys going to be ready to go up against them every Friday night?
Our aggressiveness is there, certainly. Like every team, all the scrimmages we've gone against, we've been the most physical for sure, I think, yeah. So we're there, and I think with that physicality comes a strong mentality of beating that guy across from you, and all you got to do is just go to the whistle, go all the way, go all out.
Give me a lineman that's going to have a breakout year this year.
Oh. I don't know. That's kind of tough. I don't know. I mean, I think we're maybe like Gang Off, good guy, Lathe, me. I don't know. We're all there. We're just like.
That's a good answer
Yeah.
too. That it's not going to be one guy. Everybody's going to do it. That's a good answer. All right, let's go right to your left. Grab that microphone. Introduce yourself, name, grade, and what positions are you playing this year?
My name is Lathe Assad. I'm a senior, and I play right tackle and defensive end. So, yeah, both sides of the ball. And I'm very excited for this year. I grew up with these guys, and, you know, I love these guys. They're like my best friends, and I'm just very excited to look forward to the year. But about Chardon, Riverside, all those questions, I mean, I really don't fear anybody, and I don't think any of us fear anybody. So I look at them the same way as I look at Garfield Heights. You know, there's no difference. They're a team like us. They're boys like us. They bleed like us. So there's nothing to be scared of. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, just, you know, we work too hard to just look at that and look at it for a loss. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I love competing. I worked way too hard this summer to get embarrassed by anybody. So that's just real. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
I like this guy. I don't even have to ask questions. He's just throwing it all out there. This is perfect. Exactly. That's great. Senior year, I mean, 3 years ago as a freshman, you probably came in wide-eyed thinking that day would never come, and here it is, week one already, and your senior year. What's going through your mind?
Just excitement, you know. I've been waiting my whole life for this moment. I love football. And I love the energy, you know what I'm saying? I'm a twitchy dude, so I just love the energy and I love Friday nights, you know? So I'm just excited. That's one word to describe it.
As a senior, you have an opportunity here to write your final chapter. You know, the freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, all the wins weren't there. You probably didn't accomplish everything you wanted. A lot of goals were left on the table. How do you want things to end up this year?
I want things to end up great, and I want us to go in the playoffs, and I think we can go in the playoffs, you know, just like my coach said. Discipline is a big thing for us. Our physicality is there, you know, but our discipline, we'll work on it, you know what I'm saying? It's the beginning of the year. Everybody messes up, you know, not just us, so we'll fix it for sure.
Your line mate there talked a lot about the offensive line. Go ahead and talk a little bit about the defensive line. Who are some of those guys that are going to make some plays on Friday nights?
You know, we like to rotate a lot on defense, but really, the big guys you want to look for is me, you know, Dre. He's another one on the D line, and Gang Off too. We also have Nolan. We have a couple of guys that can switch in. They love competing as well, you know. So it's going to be a lot of guys. Maybe even Antonio can jump in on defense too and make a play. I count on him.
All right, who's a defensive lineman you think's going to have the breakout year?
Me.
There you go. I like it. There's confidence. That's what it takes. All right. Curtis, go ahead and grab that mic. Go ahead and introduce yourself, name, grade, and what position you're playing this year.
Curtis Thomas, class of 23. I play receiver. It's free safety.
Curtis, last year you made some of the greatest plays that you'll see in high school. I cut up a couple of the highlights. You look like a little Eric Metcalf out there, the way you stutter step, change directions, accelerate so quickly through breaks. What do you have on store for an encore this year? Hold that just a little bit closer. There you go. Yep.
Say that back what you said.
I was just saying, what do you have in store for an encore? What are you trying to follow up that big year, that breakthrough year last year with this year?
I'm just keep working, doing what I'm doing, like showing more of my teammates, like with the ropes a little bit. Yeah, for real.
Obviously, you're going to be a big part of that offense. You're one of those game breakers that, you know, every team wants a guy like you. Every quarterback, you're like, hey, he's the guy I got to get the ball to. How are they going to try and make that happen? You know, everyone's going to target you. They're going to try and defend you and cover you, double team you, that type of thing. You're still going to be counted on to make plays. How's that going to happen?
I believe in all my coaches. I feel like they got some good game plans. We've been working on a lot in the summer because they already know what it's going to be. So, yeah, I believe in the staff and my quarterback and, like, the whole group, for real.
I saw you at the scrimmage, and they were trying to get the ball to you. So, you know, they're not necessarily forcing it, but they're making plays. You're definitely a big part of that offense. How's the rapport with the quarterback?
It's great. It's great. Like, I'm loving it this year, low-key. I just need to get back on my stuff for real. Yeah.
It's not Curtis against everybody else. You got 10 other teammates. Who are some of the other guys on offense that are going to make some big plays?
Hargis, he's a big time player. Like y'all, he making some plays in practice, making like wow and stuff like that. But he gonna be who else? Riante, yeah, Zach, I'm right here. Yeah, like all those, we can really do it for real.
And then what's it going to take for this team to be successful?
Discipline. For real.
There's that buzzword, Coach. I need a little siren every time that buzzword goes off. All right, pass that on down, or you got a mic in front. You can grab either way, but go ahead and same thing. Name, grade, and what positions you're playing.
Zach Rommel.
Flip that switch on there.
Zach Rommel, year of 2024, and I play quarterback and punter.
Coming in as a sophomore starting quarterback, everybody's looking at QB1, a lot of pressure. How you handling that so far?
I had a bit of experience last year, so it was kind of nice to get that off my shoulders, and I've had my first playing time on varsity, so I know what to expect and how much faster it is this year, so I think I'm ready.
So it's not quite as nerve-wracking to go out sophomore year, but what do you bring to the table as a quarterback? And we talked to the same question I asked you after the scrimmage, but what do you bring?
I think leadership. I try to make sure everybody knows their role in the team. Like everybody has their own role. It's not always going to be them getting the ball. They got their own role that they have to do, and they have to do well. And I think that I did a pretty good job leading the offense.
Talk about the big guys up front. They're going to protect you on Friday nights. What's the key there for those guys to get their job done?
Just know their jobs. If they're big enough, if they can just know their jobs, they'll get it done. They just have to know what their job is, and they need to execute it.
How would you describe North's offense?
It's a lot different than, I'm not going to get into the
no secrets, but
a lot different than the last couple of years. Big changes.
All right. And then obviously you got a game breaker to your right, but who are some of the other guys you think are going to make a name for themselves this year?
The guy on my left, Dylan Hargis, he's really been great at practice, opened a lot of eyes this year. He's going to be a big one. Riante, he did his thing last year. Everybody knows about him. And we have a couple other backs in the field that we think can come in for Riante when he needs a breather, and they can get the job done too.
Outstanding. Good luck to you this year.
Thank you.
All right, Dylan, you're up. Make sure you got that switch on the up position, and go ahead and introduce yourself, name, grade, and what positions you're playing.
All right, so I'm Dylan Hargis, class 2023, linebacker and tight end.
Dylan, obviously your teammates giving you high praise, so you're coming in with some expectations. How ready are you to handle those?
Always ready. That's how you got to be. You got to be ready every time.
You've got, we talked about the offensive line. We know you've got some game breakers on the outside and a good, strong running back. You're that tight end. How are you going to factor into the offense?
Pretty good. Yeah, I just got to do my assignments, do what I can to help the team win. That's about it.
Defensively, what's the key there? I mean, you've got some really good offenses in the WRC. It's going to be tough to stop them every night. You guys are going to have to come ready to play. What's it going to take?
Violence.
I love
job. That's about it.
What do you bring to the table as a linebacker? How would you describe yourself?
Versatile. I like to blitz a lot, but
Is that the game plan? Without no secrets, but
but this is just me. That's how I like it. But
okay.
I do what the coaches tell me to do.
Who are the other guys on defense you think are going to have a big year?
All of us, but there are some people stand out like Kurt, obviously. Let me think. Leif, Bryant Young, Christensen, my other linebackers. They do pretty good.
Being a younger guy on the squad, you and Zach right there, you guys are in a situation you can turn this culture around a little bit and change things and start a few winning seasons in a row and get North back to where, when I was in high school, they were feared a lot. And, now, Coach, back when they had black and white TV, they had some good teams back then too. But, what's it going to take for you guys as sophomores when you become seniors just to have things turned all the way around and change this culture here at North?
Well, I'm a senior now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were one of the sophomores. My bad. I thought you said class. Okay, my bad.
No, I'm a senior now, so, I think they'll do good next year. They got a good core, so.
So yeah, I like seeing some of the younger guys out there and talking.
Right.
So all right, so good. Yeah. What are your individual goals for this season?
I don't know. Winning games. That's personally for me, winning games. But I don't know much.
All right, good luck to you guys this year. I appreciate you coming out. Opening night, you guys are at Garfield, right? Garfield Heights? All right, so week 1 at Garfield Heights, and then Revere in week 2. And then week 3 that's the one I'll be at. So I'll see you guys in week 3. But good to have you here. That's the North Rangers football team here at North Fall Sports Media Day. Appreciate you being here. Coach Dodd, appreciate it, and good luck to you guys this year. Up next, we've got the boys soccer team. Head coach Steve Missick. We'll take a quick break as they take their seats here at the head table. Welcome back to North High School for the 2022 North Rangers Fall Sports Media Day. Up next, we go from the oblong football to the round football with the boys soccer team. Head coach Steve Missick. They got started on Friday night in a Friday night football game against Painesville Harvey. Coach, welcome. Appreciate you being here. Give us a quick overview. What can we expect out of the Rangers this year? Flip that. There's a little black switch on that mic. Flip that up. There you go.
Okay. I think that we're going to be more of a traditional team than we've been the last couple of years. I mean, we had a couple of super scorers. We're a little top heavy there. We're going to be an older team. I mean, as you can see, we have 8 seniors. They all get into the game. Most of them start. So, I mean, we have a lot of experience. We're bigger, we're stronger, you know, so we're hoping we match up a little better with our opponents. I mean, we play a pretty difficult schedule. We play all the big schools. I mean, I guess we're considered a big school as well, but not as big as.
Yeah, you're one of the small big schools.
We're one of the small big schools. So we're expecting good things. I mean, we're gonna have to work hard for it without question. And I've told these guys I think we're going to be a midfield dominated team. At least I think that's where we're gonna go. We didn't show it Friday nights, but we're working on it. So I'm expecting a good season. I think we'll be in the thick of things for the league title and for a district title this year.
Yeah, Friday night, tough opener, Harvey Dangerous. They've got a lot of speed, and you saw that, that one kid that scored their 2 goals. They have a really good goalie.
He works hard. So,
yep.
I mean, he deserved at least the first one, but second one we kind of gave him.
Right.
But
and then second half, you saw the opportunity your guys created. They had a lot of scoring chances. You lived in front of the goal for a little bit, just didn't get that break to get one to go in. So it's there to come.
It's about playing defense, and I think when we watched that film before we practiced tonight, we kind of broke it down, and that's what we came up with. I mean, we didn't defend them in the midfield, and as soon as we started doing that, all of a sudden it opened up our scoring opportunities. So one goes with the other.
Right.
They go hand in hand. So I think we figured that out, and we'll see. We'll see coming up.
And that's the hard part when you lose your top 2 goal scorers from the past 4 years, basically.
The top 2 goal scorers in our history.
That's you don't replace that, and it's going to take some time for guys to find their role. Dom's been around. He was the 3rd leading goal scorer for you last year, so he's been around, and so you've got some guys that can finish. It's just going to take guys a little bit of time to.
It's always about playing defense, and we live off our defense. So, I mean, like I said, we're going to be a traditional Eastlake North boys soccer team, and I like that. I like that. So as long as we work hard, and I think we found out today watching the film, we need to communicate better, and I think good things will come out of that.
All right, Coach, we're going to start. I'll start all the way to your left, and you can pop out, let one of the guys jump in your spot there, and grab that microphone and introduce yourself, name, grade, and what position you're playing.
Owen Hopper. I'm a senior, and I play center back.
Owen, huge senior class here, 8 guys. So obviously you're losing those top goal scorers that you knew every night you could count on those guys to create some chances, things like that. So losing them, obviously, it's a tough blow to the team. But when you've got 8 seniors, you guys have played a lot of soccer. How much has that helped you guys kind of settle in this year?
Definitely a lot, because our communication's pretty high. You know, it can be better at sometimes, but we know each other's games. We've been playing with each other for 4 years now, so it works. What's
going to be the key for this team? You got that little preview out of the way on Friday. Didn't go the way you wanted it to, but it's a learning experience. And like Coach said after the game, you guys, the schedule you play to count on going 17-0 isn't realistic. You're playing some really good teams just in this area, and then you're playing some of the teams out west that are really good. So just getting that preview and then watching the film and getting ready for game number 2, what did you guys learn?
That if we want to dominate the midfield, that we need to play through our backs and then play into our feet, and then have our big striker Daniel Tadic, shoot from distance, so we can get into the goal.
What do you bring to the team this year? What's your role?
I mean, I'm the big center back. When the ball's in the air, fastest guy. Chase the best player.
All right, let's pass that mic to your left. Go ahead, introduce yourself, name, grade, and what position you're playing.
Dom Costura, senior, attacking midfielder.
So, Dom, you've been around a few years. You were always kind of in the shadow of Luca and Caden, and now it's your opportunity to go out and shine. How ready are you for this moment, this senior year?
I've been waiting for this, really. Just kind of like our team now. We're here to play, looking to win games.
What's going to be the key? On Friday night, I mentioned to Coach, you've got this young team. And I didn't mean young because he's got this experience. I meant just up top. You're losing those top goalkeepers, so you need somebody to step into that role. So in that sense, it's young, but who's going to fill that spot? I mean, obviously you're going to be one of those guys. I've seen Floyd do some nice things over the past couple of years, but who's going to be those guys that you can rely on each night to go out and create some scoring chances?
So this year we basically have like a completely new offense. We got Danny up top. Danny's looking to score goals. Me, Floyd, Jathan, Abram. We're looking to fill those roles. It's going to be tough, but I think we could do it.
What did you learn from Caden and Luca that's helping to make you a better player as a senior?
Just their leadership, their mentality, just everything about them. Just they played 4 years, just tough, hard every night.
All right, good luck to you this season. Let's go right there in the middle. Grab that mic in front of you. If you guys want to pop up and let your other guys jump down, I'll swing right back to the left when we get over there. But go ahead, introduce yourself, name, grade, and position.
I'm Bo Vincent, senior, and I'm the goalkeeper.
Bo, I remember when you first started playing goal, Coach was talking about you just being a young guy, eager to learn, and, watching you the other night, you had a lot of shots right at you, point-blank shots. You're out there defending like you've been doing it, 10, 12 years and, doing it well. But how have you developed as a goalkeeper?
Actually, I came in my freshman year. I had no plans to be a goalkeeper, but then the JV goalkeeper got hurt, and then started playing goalkeeper, and then I've just been in that position ever since.
From a confidence standpoint, obviously getting thrown in as a goalkeeper, just kind of as an emergency keeper, to now you're a senior, a veteran goalkeeper. How different has it been for you?
I definitely feel like everybody is relying on me, and I definitely feel like my role has gotten bigger over the years. So now I feel I got to be like the one who communicates a lot on the field and organize everything, and I feel like I've just developed a lot over the years.
What do you think the team learned the most from Friday night to heading into game number 2?
Definitely defense and matching up and making sure that everyone's covered and we're not all bunching up in the back.
All right. Good luck to you the rest of the year. Floyd, go ahead, grab a microphone. And same thing. Name, grade, and what position you're playing.
My name's Floyd Lomas. I'm a senior and I play CDM.
Big group of seniors. I mean, obviously coming into this year, you guys have to have high expectations because of that. You guys are a veteran group, have a lot of experience. Obviously a little setback in game number one, but moving forward, how confident are you things are going to go well this year?
I'm pretty confident that we'll have a decent team. I mean, it's nervous because facing a lot of big teams, but we compete with them, then it will set us up for the tournament. We'll get exposed to all these other teams out there, and then hopefully go on from there.
You talk about the big teams, and just in this area with US and Menor and some of these other schools that have had these long traditions of great soccer. I mean, you're being tested every game, and coach will tell you, we talk about it all the time, the schedule. There isn't a breather game. There's not one where, we're going to let the JVs play the second half. You guys have to bring it every night. How do you prepare for that and just be ready for those expectations and the intensity?
I guess just after games, making sure you're treating your bodies right, go home, icing, resting, getting good sleep, and it's about all you could do. Make sure you're mentally prepared before every game, zone in, lock in, be ready.
Who are some guys you think are going to have a big year this year that maybe people don't know about right now, but pretty soon they will?
I think one of Yahir, he plays left wing, right wing, he's a winger, and I feel like once he gets into the GS set, he'll be pretty good. He's a freshman.
You've been around. I've seen you play for a few years. Exciting guy to watch. Again, one of those guys that Luca and Caden kind of stole the spotlight, but you took advantage of the opportunities you had. What are you looking to accomplish as a senior?
I'm just hoping for our team to prosper in the WRC and hopefully get a district championship. That'd be awesome.
That'd be nice.
My senior year.
All right, good luck to you. Let's go all the way to the right there and grab that microphone. Name, grade, and position.
My name's Colin Perchinsky.
Is that, there you go.
My name's Colin Perchinsky. I'm a senior and I play sweeper defender.
Obviously, defense is going to be a key this year, just like it is every year. Talk about that group and the strength of, how that's going to help the team this year.
I think definitely since we kind of lost one of our two-man attackers last year, that we're definitely going to have to focus more on defense this year, and we're going to have to, gain our chemistry. Let's get strong together, and definitely a lot of communication, kind of making us that we're on our marks and everything.
Obviously, with a senior goalkeeper that's now developed the way Bo has developed, how does that help the defensive unit as a whole?
Bo definitely, as a developed keeper, helps us a lot in the defense. If there's one of that guy that's straggling behind us, kind of let us know that, hey, there's someone behind you, guys, stay tight on them. Or, he also sees the whole field, so it's nice to get to, a second man to help communicate in the back.
What do you see as the key to this team being successful this year?
I think mainly the key to us being successful is communication, working hard, and we're going to have to play more defeat this year, so looking for those key passes is what really is going to help us.
One of the things I always like to talk about is culture and legacy. And so as a senior, when you're old, when you go to your 20-year high school reunion, like Coach will go to his this year, right? 20 years, is that right, Coach? Something like that. What do you hope people remember about this team?
I think definitely is our effort and our hard work of going out for our best season for our senior year.
All right. Good luck to you. I'm going to go all the way back to the left. Make sure you got a microphone. Make sure that black switch is up. And go ahead and introduce yourself, name, grade, and position.
I'm Jordan Brachia. I'm a senior, and I play striker.
Coming in, losing the two great players you did up top, being a striker, obviously you've got some expectations. How are you filling that role this year?
I think our play style changed a lot from when we had Luca and Caden up top. Now we've got me, Danny, and whoever else goes to fill that role. And I think the play style changes from more of dribbling and passing defenders to more of a shooting aspect because Danny has a big leg, and I think I've got okay range. But I think those are big shoes to fill, and I think we need to adapt more than fill those shoes completely and change our play style.
Keep hearing about Danny. Is that Luca's brother? Is that?
No.
No,
They're
not.
Both Croatian though, I believe.
Oh, okay. All right. So, looking at, we talked a little bit about the defense. The offense has changed quite a bit. What's the key to kind of the flow, just creating those opportunities? Coach talked about the midfield, that kind of thing. What do you guys have to do to make it all come together?
Well, everything starts, I think, in the backfield. You know, if we don't let up any goals, we don't lose the game. So we've got some newer guys, like Floyd mentioned, Yair, in the backfield playing right back. And so I think for him to fill that role and for our defense to stay strong, I think is one of the most important things.
Who's a guy on the team you think's going to have a breakout year this year?
I think the guy to the left of me, I think Jathan. Last year, I remember watching a couple games. He had a 2-goal game, and that was a really hype game. And so I think he's going to have a breakout year.
All right, good luck to you this year. And we'll finish up. No, we still have to go to the middle, right? Okay, yeah, gotcha. Go ahead. Name, grade, and position.
My name is Jathan Perchinsky. I'm a senior, and I play in the midfield.
Related to Colin?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so midfield, Coach was saying everything's going to start there. A lot of pressure on that group. You guys ready for that?
Yeah, really it's just going to be making sure we communicate and mark up back there. But really it's the same midfield we had last year, so I think we'll be able to do fine once the season gets going.
The schedule, as we've talked about, and just within the league itself, I mean, every night you're going to be pushed and tested. Does that help or hurt you? I mean, as a player, do you prefer to play in games like that every night?
Well, as Floyd said, we really got to make sure that we stay fresh. But really it's just it gets us in a rhythm when we play that many games back to back. So honestly, I think it's a little bit of both that helps us, but we really got to make sure that we stay fresh when we're not playing.
Obviously, big senior class here, so next year it's going to be I don't want to say rebuilding, but a bunch of younger guys are going to fill your shoes. What do you hope they learn from this crew?
Well, definitely effort. I think we've done a good job of putting in effort whenever we step on the field.
What are your goals for the year?
Hopefully put a couple in this year. That's really the main goal. But besides that, at least when I'm playing more defensive, just making sure I mark up and do my job.
All right, let's pass that mic. And now you're the last guy, right? Because we got Floyd. All right, so go ahead. Introduce yourself, name, grade, and position.
Matthew Colton. I'm senior, and I'm a wingback / marking back, whatever you want to call it.
So what is your role on the team? What does Coach expect out of you?
Like we said, Colin said, Jordan said, and Coach, the defense is more important than ever this year. I came from a JV team basically last year, starting this year. So there's a lot of pressure to make sure that I'm holding standards of Colin at sweeper and Owen at stopper, or Frankie at stopper. And then I'm holding up to what they expect of me, and that I'm not slacking off.
Huge senior class. I have to imagine most of you guys have played together, since youth leagues, all that coming up. How has that helped, just kind of developing a rapport and the camaraderie and the chemistry to come out and play every night?
Yeah, I've played with a lot of these guys for more than 4 years now, and I've known them for a while. So that chemistry certainly helps. I don't think we're 100% there yet, especially in the back. We're still working to build that. But if we can get that by the end of the season, a strong chemistry and a good work ethic back there, I think that could really solidify what our team is this year.
What do you hope people remember about this senior class?
I hope they remember that we
Who knew that was a trick question?
Yeah. I hope they remember
winning a state title. Can we go there?
Sure.
All right. I like that. Coach likes it too. But now he's going to make you run a little extra harder. Oh, you want to win a state title? It takes a little bit more, right? All right, guys. I appreciate y'all being here. You can't see half of them. They're not on the screen. A huge senior class here. 8 seniors for Coach Missick, who's – what year is this for you? 34 years. Whew. Long time. Many great teams along the way. Hopefully this is another one. Appreciate y'all being here, and best of luck to you. All right, that was the North Rangers boys soccer team here at the Fall Sports Media Day. Up next, we've got the girls golf team. Are they here? All right, come on, girls golf. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, come on up. Sure. That'll get us back on schedule this way because I'm a few minutes behind. All right, so all we've got with the girls golf team is head coach Beth Bretttrager. Second year, correct? First year as the varsity coach. Okay. Hop on in, grab one of those microphones, make sure the black switch is in the up position. There you go. Yeah, just make sure that's up. And the black one by your thumb. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Now I can hear you. Okay, so Coach Bretttrager, obviously you guys got started. We talked last week. I know you were excited about your team, but give us a little overview. Coming into 2022, what were your expectations?
Well, we're a small team. We have 5 seniors, and some of them are even first year. So we just want the girls to get better. Hopefully a couple girls will make it, into the, districts, state would be nice.
That'd be really nice.
Yeah. There's a chance somebody could make it. But basically we're a young team and we're really just having fun.
And just in the conference, there are a lot of good golf teams. So just winning the conference is a great step and competing in the conference. But you play a lot of dual matches, you play a lot of the tournaments, and everything is gearing you up for that sectional tournament. But who have been the players that have really stepped up this year, that have impressed you with their development already in the first couple weeks?
Well, our first golfer, Lauren Ionetta, and she's only in 10th grade, but she's always holding that first spot very strong. She can golf in the 30s, doesn't always do it, but she's young. So we're just looking for her to calm down a little bit and be able to golf that way all the time. And then we have a couple seniors, too, that are doing a real nice job for us. And that's Aubrey Durant, senior. And she averages around a 50, but she can get down in the 40s. Beautiful swing, such a natural golfer. She's going to be doing the tech school, going to be a nurse. Our girls are busy, they're working, their academics are important to them. So sometimes putting the time in for the golf is not always there. They're very active girls, but Aubrey's doing a great job for our team. And she's our second golfer.
Okay. Going back to talking about Lauren and, her being able to shoot in the 30s and then just being that mental aspect of it, sometimes that's the hardest part of golf because you can have all the ability in the world, but if you don't have the mental side of it to make the right decisions at the right times, to recover from a bad shot or when things start to go wrong. So how do you deal with that when players have that ability, but they maybe need to develop?
We just try to tell them to, this is for fun. We're out here learning a sport that's you're going to be able to enjoy the rest of your life. If you do great with it, that's wonderful. But if not, you've learned a lifelong sport that is fun. And we wish that we could get more girls out to do this sport. I don't think being young, a lot of times they appreciate how wonderful a sport it can be later on down the road. I know I didn't appreciate it in high school either.
Right.
But I do now.
Right. And then when you look at like women that are in the business world and, the women that are, want to be CEOs, they start to understand that, a lot of work happens on the golf course. So when you mention that lifelong pursuit, it's also a business pursuit. And
they don't realize that yet. But we tell them that. And, of course, the girls that are out, they realize it. But we only have 9 girls, so that's not a very big team.
Right, yeah, that makes it rough. You don't have that JV pushing the girls on the varsity and that type of thing, but you've got to...
We've had to have our first-year girls come out and do varsity this year, just because, we've got girls on college visits, we got girls, working a lot of hours. So, sometimes our young girls have to step up and do the job for us. And they're doing beautiful, you know.
And that's where it starts there. But hopefully, when you can have some of those girls have extended success and get to the district tournament and hopefully the state tournament, that inspires the young ones to come out and you start to build that program. Do you guys have a youth program, anything like that in the area?
No. We really wish that the middle schools would do some golf. They don't. I know back in the day, like Willoughby Middle used to have clubs, and they would do a unit on golfing. But as far as we know, nobody does anything with golf. So these kids are not exposed to it. If their family members haven't shared it with them, they really have no idea.
So there's an opportunity out there for somebody. Start a little youth program in the area and help out the high school coaches eventually. But all right, so it sounds like you've got some good young talents, some seniors learning the game, and hopefully they can pass it on to some other girls and you can develop a program. But
we have a very nice team, great group of girls. We're so happy to have them out and learning and enjoying this game. We have, 2 10th graders. Two 11th graders. Of course, I said our number 1 golfer, Lauren, she's the 10th grader, and only 1 9th grader. We had Eva Kendall come out today, and she started today. Our season started August 1st. And we had a 9th grade orientation here. She grabbed a paper and emailed us, and we said sure.
That's
she
great.
Had no clubs. She's never golfed before. We put a set of clubs together for her. And, she came out today and seemed to really enjoy it.
That's great. And then hopefully she can bring some friends and play in the summer and even bring more friends next year. And it starts from there.
We shall see.
Yep.
But,
all right.
Our girls are wonderful to coach and be with throughout the season. And I think they're having a good time.
Excellent. Well, I wish you a lot of success. I will be out this week, I believe, and then I'll see you on a course a couple of times, so I'll get to see the girls too. Looking forward to that. But appreciate you coming out, and unfortunately couldn't get any of the girls here, but good luck to the girls.
They're
busy.
Humble
Yeah.
too. They're very humble and very shy, and this is not their kind of
Gotcha.
thing to get up in front of people and talk about themselves.
It's not the easiest thing.
Well, it's probably why they golf too. You can get out there.
You're out there by yourself, right?
You don't have to deal with many people.
Right. Good. Well, good luck to the girls and good luck to you this season. I appreciate you being here.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, that was North Girls Golf Coach Beth Bretttrager here representing the girls golf team. And rounding out our media night is the girls volleyball team, fresh off a scrimmage from Menor. So I know they're looking their best right now. Probably spent some time doing their hair and makeup, all that good stuff, and I'm just kidding. They don't care about that stuff. They're athletes. I got to see the Rangers out at their scrimmage at Orange on Saturday. Pretty good day, a nice match, 3-set match with Berkshire, and then beat Orange in 2. So we'll talk about that scrimmage. We'll talk about their scrimmage tonight and their outlook for the season. Coach Tamara Heller. Coach, I'm going to start with you. Just grab a microphone. There's a little black switch on there. Just make sure it's in the up position. And just go ahead and just give us a little overview. What can we expect out of your team this year?
This year, something I would say that I'm excited about from the coaching standpoint is our experience. Last year, we had a young group of girls, 5 sophomores, being expected to shine on game day. That's a lot to ask of a young kid that's not used to the speed of the game. So this year, I think where we'll see a lot of improvements is our experience. A lot of girls, girls that struggled last year are showing a lot of signs of improvement this year, so that's exciting for us.
And you're still kind of getting your feet wet as far as putting your stamp on the program. I mean, you haven't been around all that long, so you've got some young girls that are still learning your style, and whether they were playing JV or middle school prior and coming up, learning your system. But how is that whole transition going? Are you starting to sense that the girls are all buying in and getting what you want to do?
Yeah, I would say culture is something that needs to be it's a process. It's not something that's going to happen within a year's time. And I would say, going into my 4th season, I am confident in where we stand as far as a culture goes. but beginning of the season is always, trying to get the girls that are new to the program, freshmen, or this year we have a couple transfers that are upperclassmen, like getting them to the same level as the rest of the group. But that's where I think, like, I coach a club team. A lot of girls on the team play club, which is like travel for volleyball. It's so exciting for me to come back to school because we're all under the same understanding and we have the same approach to the game, whereas on the club side of things, you're bringing girls from all different high schools and expecting them to be at a certain level that, some coaches are really big into discipline, some don't put a whole lot of emphasis on that, or, different priorities as a coach. Trying to bring that together and be successful in a 6-month time is hard to do. So high school, it's just exciting as a coach to be able to get a group of girls that's all on the same page and just be able to, work from there is exciting stuff.
Right, with the club teams, you don't necessarily get that team bonding the way. And your Instagram is lit. You guys are, you guys have stuff going on all the time. Your campfires, your camp stuff that you did. There was another one. Was it a leadership thing or? No, it was the
CrossFit.
Oh, the CrossFit. Oh yeah, I saw the CrossFit one. They were all, but at the baseball field.
Oh yeah, captain's game. Yeah, that was like a fundraiser, but also a team bonding thing for us too. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you just had your golf outing, and I had told you I was going to come out, and I'll give you my. I'm old, but so I was out at football, and I'm just like I can't go anymore. But so I mean I see that stuff that you're doing, and then you see the girls, and they're all smiling and laughing, and that's what they're going to remember. Regardless of what your record is, you could win a state title. They're going to remember it. But what they're going to remember is, oh, you remember when so-and-so peed herself? She was laughing so hard. That's the stuff that in 20 years you're going to remember it. And so you've got that going.
Yeah, I try to put so much emphasis on that. I was a player, and I want to give the experience of, what I wish certain things were. Not saying that I regret anything or that my experience as a player wasn't successful, but I just know what I would want of a high school experience, and I try to give that the experience over anything else. Like you're saying, that's what you're going to remember, and the relationships that you build at events like that, the memories that you get out of things like that is over all wins and losses or scoreboard or anything that you can do on the court.
Absolutely. I'm going to wrap up with you, but we'll talk to your players first. So we'll start right to your left. Grab a microphone and introduce yourself, name, grade, and what position you're playing this year.
I'm Samantha Cantrell. I'm a junior this year, and I'm a libero and a DS.
Samantha, third year in the program under coach. Are you starting to get it more? I mean, are you guys as a team sensing that, hey, this is the program we're trying to build? Do you see it all coming together?
Yeah, she does very well with building our culture and everything. And I think this year we're definitely gelling together a lot better, and we all give full effort, and the culture's there.
The one thing you guys haven't had over the past couple of years is that one dominant player that everyone's oh, we've got to watch for her. So it's really a team thing for you. So all that bonding is important. You've got to be able to trust the girl to your left and to your right, the girl behind you, in front of you, whatever. Who's the leader of the team, though? Who are the girls that are pulling it all together? And when things are going wrong, they're okay, we got to get everything right. And
we definitely have a lot of more not that, the one player that is crazy, but we have a lot of solid players, and Maddie definitely is one of those that she always says puts the team on her back, and we can trust her and count on her.
When things are going well, everybody's happy and smiling, patting each other on the butt. When things aren't going well, you start to see those looks on the faces that that deer in the headlights, and that's the thing that separates the good teams from the bad. That the good teams can overcome those moments. How are you guys going to overcome those?
Well, we try to obviously stay clear of that, but there are some times that it's that gets a little bit, but we just try to go in the huddle and calm things down and relax and try to just come together as a team and get through it. And
scrimmage on Saturday. You saw Orange, which is kind of a up-and-coming program. They're a little bit young, kind of developing. Berkshire, they've been a really strong program over the years. They have this really good freshman class, so you saw a really competitive team there. And then tonight you saw Menor, and I don't know how that scrimmage went, but just from what you've seen the last couple of days, how is this team growing just in the last few days alone?
There's definitely things that we can improve on, but in like moments we see we see a lot of potential in this team, and that could go far, and we just need to bring that out and like keep building on it.
I'll talk hitting with Maddie over there, and I'll talk setting with Jaden, but talk about defense. Where's the strength of that crew?
Defensively this year we can be a lot better. Like she said, we had a lot of younger girls last year, and that was a lot in the back row, but like I feel a lot more comfortable there this year as like a second year on varsity, and we also have a very good sophomore, Zoe, that especially being a first year is like it doesn't show that she's younger, but all across the board we can be pretty good in the back row.
Just looking at the roster so far, the girls, you've seen them in practice. Give me somebody that maybe people don't know about them yet, but in a few weeks everybody's going to know. Who's going to have a breakout year anywhere and on the team?
I feel like Shayna being a transfer, like a lot of people volleyball-wise don't know how she plays, but she can impress some people.
She impressed me on Saturday. I had to walk over and ask, who is that? And then they told me, oh, transfer from South. I said, okay. So yeah. So you're right. She already had a little breakout. I caught her. So good. All right. Jaden, go ahead and grab a mic and introduce yourself, name, grade, and position.
My name is Jaden Anderson. I'm a junior, and I'm the setter.
Jaden, you seem like you've been around forever because you've been setting forever since freshman year. You came in, you were that wide-eyed, deer in the headlight look for a little bit that freshman year, but you settled in. And last year you looked more confident. On Saturday, you looked like you've been doing it forever. What's been different from freshman year?
Freshman year it was harder because I've never been on the freshman team JV. I went right to varsity, and having like Adri, like our senior setter, she really helped me just like grow more, as just a setter in general, like teaching me all the different things. And so I looked up to her, and my sophomore year it was just me, and it's helped a lot, like just learning everything in general and just getting better every day.
Any changes this year? 5'1", 6'2"? What are you guys running?
Still 5'1".
And you're it.
Yep.
You're the one.
Yep.
You feeling any additional pressure because of that, just because there's so much weight on your shoulders?
No, not really. I mean, it's nice, like, having Maddie, like, I could look to her to, like, get this ball, put it away, and she does it. But no, not really, just growing.
Setting, what's your game plan when you go out there? I mean, obviously you have a hitter like Maddie, and now you have Shayna, and there's a few others, but do you have, like, favorites, or you're like, oh, here's the ball, I got to get it to her, or is coach yelling from the sideline, set to her? What's the plan? How do you do it?
Well, it's nice, like, we have a lot of different things we run, so I know, like, in different situations, like, if there's a bigger blocker on the outside, I know to throw it to the right side. Maddie runs the C, or I can split the blockers with Shayna. It's nice to have more hitters and just to run different things. So.
What's going to be the key to this team's success this year?
I think, like, our energy, since we have such good team bonding skills, like, we all just really get along really well. If we win the energy battle on our side, I think we're good. Just like if we're in a gym with 4 teams, that's our goal, is to win the energy battle every single time.
Typically, a junior might be like, a secondary leader. It's always the seniors are supposed to be the team leaders. But you've got so much varsity volleyball under your belt. The girls have to look up to you.
Yeah.
I assume that's happening. How are you handling that in addition to being the setter and the quarterback of the offense?
Well, that's my biggest goal. Like, I try to work on it every single day, is to get better at the leadership and being the quarterback. That's what the setter does. And just knowing, being smart, volleyball IQ, always being able to look on the other side of the court. When we're in those ruts, try to get out of those, just being able to run smart things and being able to look at our passers like, you got this next one, hitters, and just really trusting each other to put that ball away.
Who's your pick for a breakout player this year?
Like the one I look to?
No, just who do you think's going to have a big year, just based on what you've seen in the preseason?
Well, it's really nice having Shayna, the transfer, coming in. She is so good. And so we look to her a lot to be able to put that ball away. Shayna's really good. And Maddie also. Our passers are super good too. And Sam's gotten so much better. So not really one person, but like pretty much those three. Just really good.
Cool. All right. Good luck this year. Maddie, on to you. Go ahead. Same thing. Grab that and name, grade, and position.
My name's Madison Javonsky, and I'm a middle outside. I'm a senior this year.
Going into senior year, it's probably a little bit of excitement. You want to get the year going. It's senior year. You know, you're looking forward to graduating and then getting old like us, and then wishing you were back in high school, saying, "Oh, I wish I could do it again." But what are you feeling right now?
I think I'm just really excited to see like all the hard work like finally pay off, and like I think this year's like kind of like give everything I have because like it's my last chance.
Go back to freshman year and compare where you are today as a player. What's different?
Oh my gosh, everything. Because I transferred last year, so it was a lot of like, there's like so much more like friendships and like stuff beyond volleyball, I would say. And I think I've grown so much as a player, because there's more like, I think like Coach Heller puts a lot of like trust in me, like where I didn't have like my freshman year was kind of like do your own thing. But I think Coach Heller like looks to me. To, like,
why do you think that is?
I think I kind of like to lead naturally, because like I want things to go my way in a sense, and so like the only way I could do that is like to push others to like try their hardest so that like we win. Like I would rather be on the bench and like take the win than like be in and like not help at all.
What's the key to your game? I got to see you out at Orange on Saturday. Impressive, of course. You know, Jaden said it too. You're going to be a big part of the offense, but what do you bring to the table, or the court, I guess you said?
I think focusing on like hitting specific spots this year and not trying to like be crazy and like put the ball down, but just make like being smart and like getting like the first ball kill and like getting out of like anything right away.
You add a hitter like Shayna. How does that help your game?
Very excited. I'm excited because I played with Shayna like for a few years now for club, and I'm happy to like I can look to her to also like put like the ball away when we need it. So
that chemistry helps.
Yeah.
And it goes back to what I was talking about, Coach, and your Instagram feed and just all the stuff that you guys are doing. How does all that help? Just the team come together and get, you know, I mean, most of you guys go to school together, you're friends, you see each other in classes, that kind of thing. You don't have to be friends with everybody on the team, but you know everybody. How, the relationship building, how does that all come into play on the court?
It helps so much because we can look to each other like outside of school, like to trust each other. So like on the court, we know like who can do this, who can do that, because we've been with each other so much.
What are your goals for the year?
Ooh, top 3 in the conference.
In kills?
No, top 3 in the conference.
Oh,
as a
record.
Team,
okay.
Maybe 2, 3, 1. 1. I don't know. Personally, just like I want to be able to see myself like have a consistent like energy and performance throughout every game. Like not have like up and down games or like oh she's good at this game or that game. Like every game, play it like it's like South or something. Like I'm excited all the time.
All right. Good luck. Coach, back to you. Got to hear from your players here. What does that mean to you to hear them talk about the way that they've developed as players and the way that you've impacted the program and the way things are coming together?
I would say, like, you know, I feel like I don't hear them say it, like conversations that they would have with each other or, like, you know, someone asking them questions like that. I don't hear that much. So, it, like, a couple of them was making me choke up. Things that they say. But, you know. Like,
allergies, man. Always those allergies.
I would say, like, you know, even the team bonding stuff that we do, it makes us as a coaching staff be able to get to know them as people instead of just players, which helps being able to coach them if you understand them as a person. So I would like to say that, like, I know the team that we have very well as people and players, which I think that's a very important piece in getting your players to trust you as a coach. You have to give that to be able to expect them to give you respect. So, like, I think that's somewhere that as a coaching staff we put a lot of priority on that.
And that's the lost part of team bonding. Coaches don't necessarily think that they're a part of that. It's always the team bonding. But you just nailed it, is you're learning about your players. You can see what they can do on the court, but what makes them tear up? What makes them happy? What motivates them? And one of the most successful coaches I know, he does the same thing. He learns about his players, so he knows how to coach each girl. You can't coach them all the same way.
Right, yep.
You might coach Sam one way, you coach Jaden that way, and she cries and you lose her.
Right.
Or maybe you need to push Jaden a little bit harder, and, that's how she thrives. And so when you're doing that team bonding, like you said, you're learning their personalities, and you learn that. It's a lost art in coaching. And
Right. And like you said, like every player needs to be coached differently, and finding out how to coach every girl the way that it is going to make them perform to the best of their ability is an ongoing thing as a coach, but something that we try as a coaching staff to accomplish.
Absolutely. All right, so Saturday scrimmage, like I said, pretty good match there with Berkshire. Came up on the short end in the third set, went out, beat Orange in 2, and then went out to Menor. How'd it go tonight?
Good. I think, a priority as a team and as a coaching staff, you want to get 1% better every time you're on the floor, and I think we did today in comparison to Saturday. We haven't had a practice since the last scrimmage, and today we came out with a better demeanor than we did on Saturday. I just think our control, like speaking specifics on volleyball, like we need a lot more control on our side of the net. Saturday that showed. Today I think it was an improvement, and it showed in our play as a whole.
We talked about the girls here. They mentioned some of the other girls. Who are some of the other girls in your eyes that are going to be key to your team's success this year?
I think there's such a difference in being a sophomore underclassman to then being a junior and being an upperclassman. And someone that I have seen really come out of her shell this year is Cammie Welty. Her demeanor on the court is very relaxed and confident in who she is as a player. And I think that'll help us tremendously from the offensive side of things. And I think we have a good balance as far as wealth, like talent-wise. Like it's not all on one person, like you were asking them, like who's that one player. I think we have multiple of those, which is huge. I also think our other middle, ideally we have Maddie, who's to my left, all the way to the left, as running as an outside, which would be a new position for her for our program. Last year she was our middle. But where we are best as a program is having a girl that is hurt right now, Ella Zapola, in on the middle, and Maddie being on the outside, which comes some like complications and things that we have to work out as a team. Maddie's demeanor that she brings is something that we need as a team, so we would like to see her being a 6th rotation player because we need her demeanor out there as much as it can be. So just like having all of those pieces being able to gel is what's going to be, a hurdle that we have to be able to overcome as a team.
I have to imagine your goals are beat South twice, win the conference title, go as far as you can in the postseason. You're dreaming of a state title, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not all of those are going to, you're not going to achieve all. You may, and if you do, wonderful, great. But how are you going to define success this year?
I think something that was important to me as a player was like the most important match is the next match in front of you. It's not necessarily looking forward to the games of South or, Chardon, like the best teams that we would be playing, or for some of the, Shayna, she's going to be so amped up for South, or Maddie being so amped up to play VASJ. Being able to be level-headed and just think of the next match that we play is the most important one, creates a sustainable energy and demeanor as a team, because if you just look so forward to playing South, then you're like almost drowning in excitement, and that sometimes creates a negative of not getting the best out of us. But as far as goals go, I mean, I see us as being able to be top 3 in the conference, but that comes being able to bring the same energy every night. We have a very tough conference, and we can't be up and down with what we bring as a team. So yeah, I would say that's my number one goal, is to be top 3 of the conference and be able to compete with teams like Kenston, Chardon, South.
It's an uphill battle. It's a
Yep.
tough conference, and I mean, even Riverside had a down year last year, but they were young, and they're bringing back almost
Mhm.
everybody. And you don't come ready to play, and Madison's capable of knocking off any of the bigger teams too. So you can't
Right.
just go in and it's Madison or it's Brush or it's so and so. Anyone that and in Division One in the district here, it's like
Anyone can beat anyone on any given day. So I think like even believing that as a team when we go up against someone like Chardon or Kenston, that has a lot of powerhouses on the other side of the net, being able to believe that like the hardest working team wins and we can beat anyone if we have that type of mentality.
Sure can. So, all right, ladies, I appreciate you coming out after a scrimmage. I know you probably want to go home and eat and shower and all that stuff, but appreciate you being here. Had fun watching you on Saturday. Look forward to watching you throughout the season, and thank you for wrapping up our Fall Sports Media Night out here at North, and good luck this season.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, that was the North Volleyball team wrapping up our Fall Sports Media Day here at North High School. Once again, I'm Steve Hare with Ohio Varsity. I appreciate all of you for tuning in, and you can watch this archive show on ohiovarsity.com. It'll be there forever. It's on YouTube as well. Appreciate you tuning in. Hope to have some more live streams throughout the year. We will do some soccer, some volleyball. I think planning to do the North-South football game as well. So look ahead to some live streams of North Rangers athletics. We do have sponsorships available, so if you're interested, you can reach out to me at stevehare@ohiovarsity.com. It's Steve Hare, STEVEHARE, no space in between the names. And finally, I'd like to thank Dennis Riley for setting this all up and getting me a space to use in the school, and for all of the coaches and players that were able to make it tonight. And I wish them all the success they can achieve this year. Look forward to watching them on their court or field or course or what else do we have out there? I think that's it. Golf course, volleyball court, cross country is a course, tennis court, and thanks to the cheerleaders for coming out as well too. That was nice to have that crew here, and hope to see you all out there in the stands supporting the Rangers this fall, and look forward to doing this again in the winter. So thank you again for tuning in, and that's a wrap.